Hey, hope you're doing good. It's been a while since we talked. Welcome to Cryptic Chronicles. It's me, Tim Hacker, and I'll be your host. You're really going to love this episode because, as you know, I'm a huge Lovecraft fan. I'm joined by a newcomer to the show, Gabriel Fuentes, as a co-host, and he's from the Cryptic Chronicles Facebook group, who he does some moderating, and he's become a pretty good friend of mine. Anyway, this episode is all about the Cthulhu Mythos, specifically the Great Old Ones. Lovecraft died an unknown writer, basically, to anyone other than a select group of people. But amazingly, his gothic supernatural fiction has only increased in popularity since his death in 1937, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon. The writings that would one day be known as the Cthulhu Mythos touches a part of the human psyche on a primordial level. To quote Lovecraft himself, "The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown." And he was sure right about that. Lovecraft was so unique in his writing style of the horror that he created, basically. He created a whole new genre called cosmic horror, where the nightmares that haunt the protagonists are so beyond human comprehension, simply reading the name of a great old one can cause someone to go insane, much less looking at one of the unspeakable horrors. In the Cthulhu Mythos, the universe is uncaring and indifferent to the existence of humanity, and many of the godlike entities in the mythos embody this philosophy. The Great Old Ones in particular are the spawn of the outer gods, in which I talked about before back in episode 18. Most of the outer gods exist just outside the material universe, whereas the Great Old Ones very much dwell in the material universe that humans reside in. They aren't as powerful as the outer gods, but on a power level scale of infinity, the Great Old Ones are easily among the most powerful beings in the universe, with countless followers out in the dark cosmos. Lovecraft himself was a strong believer in the philosophy of Cosmicism. Cosmicism is a belief that humans are insignificant in the universe, and that if aliens exist, we are not better than them, beneath them, or even equal to them. We're just a blink in the eye of infinity, and no superior than insects on the grand scheme of things, which I'm sure you might find depressing. But the darkness is all part of the fun. In Cosmicism, we as a species is just a natural form of evolution, and all we hold sacred and dear is basically meaningless. Just delusions of animals trying to make sense of a universe where the only rule is chaos. We make up all these labels on everything around us, trying to make sense of an insane universe, and pride ourselves in our scientists and sciences that basically know nothing of the true nature of existence and never will. In the Lovecraft universe, humans were never meant to know much and never destined to journey far from our rock we call Earth, because our extinction will come long before we can even begin to glimpse the vast expanse of infinity that is the multiverse. In the Lovecraft universe, all priests, prophets, and spirituality in general mean nothing. And if other entities in the universe found us, they most likely would just look at humanity like we look at an infestation of cockroaches. Harsh, right? This is the philosophy of Lovecraft and the backbone of his cosmic horror. For example, good and evil don't exist in the Mythos universe. They are words used to describe human behavior, and all labels we apply to things are subjective. So obviously, something like religion has no place in Cosmicism. What is good to one person is bad to another, and an enlightened belief to one group is ignorant nonsense to another. Though Cosmicism might sound like nihilism, it is not nihilism. To Lovecraft's philosophy, we can't escape our cosmic fate, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to be great or make something of our lives. But to the mythos, humanity is oblivious to its place in the universe, and that's basically an ongoing theme in Lovecraft's writings. And one day, Cthulhu and the Great Old Ones will wake up and rise from the dark depths of the earth to bring about the annihilation of mankind. And Cthulhu will rule our planet once more, like he did before humanity even existed. So we go off on tangents every now and again, Gabriel and I, but he's a great guy, and it was really awesome. So enough blah, blah, blah. Let's go join Gabriel and talk about some great old ones, yeah? It's time to get weird. All right, so with me is Gabriel. And Gabriel, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I've only ever seen it in text.
All right, it's Gabriel Fuentes. Fuentes.
Quentes?
Fuentes.
Fuentes.
Yes, correct.
How you doing today, man?
I'm really doing well. And how you been?
Good. Welcome to Cryptic Chronicles.
I know this is the first time, so be patient, peeps. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries, dude. Here, let me close stupid Facebook so I don't get any bing annoying notifications. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the old ones, the great old ones of the Cthulhu Mythos.
Yes.
So what about the Cthulhu Mythos and the great old ones interests you?
I think it's more of how they came to being and what part do they play in, I guess, human evolution and how we came to be as well.
Yeah. I think that the best thing about it to me is just like the fear of the unknown or the fear of things that are beyond human comprehension.
Oh, that's a good point too. Yeah, you're right about that.
Go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
There's a lot of people that fear, like you said, the unknown, and it's because they don't understand or they're not taught, like in schools or any colleges or any sort of places like that, or learning, that we fear stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. What we can't explain just terrifies us.
Yeah, that's correct. There's a lot of other stories just besides the old ones, but you're right.
Where would you like to start talk in this conversation we're going to have about the great old ones? Where would you like to begin?
Probably maybe Cthulhu. I'm pretty sure that's
Cthulhu.
Yes.
The most famous of all the great old ones.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, from H.P. Lovecraft. That's the first time I ever heard of him. Mr. Cthulhu.
Yeah, it's pretty famous.
Yeah.
He is the great priest of the outer gods.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah. He actually dwells beneath the sea in the city of Relay.
Yeah, I've heard that one before too. What was it on? Yeah, it's it comes out in H.P. Lovecraft's stories.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Dreams in Which the House.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. The Call of... There's not really great old ones mainly themed or really prominent in too many of the stories. The Call of Cthulhu is one of the few where there's an entity that's straight up in your face. I think the other one is just the Dunwich Horror, where it's got Yog-Sothoth. But most of them, the great old ones or the outer gods are kind of just in the distance. It's just the unknown. But from the mythos is named after Cthulhu. So, I mean, he must have had a big impact in the story, The Call of Cthulhu. Here, I'm going to quote something from H.P. Lovecraft from that. That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange eons, even death may die. So, technically, Cthulhu is dead underneath the ocean.
Yeah. But
the old ones are they're kind of beyond death. Well, not all of them. Some of them can die.
Almost like an immortality kind of thing. They're kind of immortal.
Yeah, I think Cthulhu. If Cthulhu has a daughter, I forget her name. It's some crazy thing. And if he's ever killed in a great battle or whatever, he's going to use her to be reborn.
Oh, okay.
What is her name? I forget. Yeah, Cthulhu. He's from space, and he crash landed on Earth a bajillion thousand million years ago. And at one point ruled the earth and everything.
Yes. And he was I think he was in a battle with these winged what were they called? I
He's
don't
got a lot of
remember.
enemies.
The
Oh
Elder
crap.
Things, I think. Was
Yeah,
it
the
the Elder
Elder
Things?
Things.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, they're the ones
Yeah,
who created the Shaggoths and created humans too.
yeah. There's well, there's like what I've noticed. There's over 144 of these elder beings, and like you said, Cthulhu is like basically the main one that we really know more about.
Yeah. And he's actually got a bunch of different pronunciations for his name. Like Lovecraft himself pronounced it like really bizarrely. It was like Cthulhu or something. And I've also
Yeah,
heard Cthulhu, but I just like Cthulhu. That's
yeah.
what I'm most
It's
used to.
yeah. I think most people are used to that name, and it's easier to pronounce than most of the other names, actually.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I was reading into these myths about all these old ones, and there's 144 that I know of, and I think family with the revelation of writing detailing relations, we have learned that Cthulhu descends from Yo Satath.
Yog-Sothoth, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Possibly having been born on Boro in the 23rd nebula. He
Yeah,
made it.
dude's from
Yeah,
space.
yeah. Well, I think most life, uh, I'm not gonna say it started out in space, but it had to do a lot with how human evolution got started.
Yeah, the elder things are the ones who jumped that off. And that's
Yeah,
one of the scariest things is like there's no like most of the creatures in the Cthulhu mythos, there's no purpose for it. It just is. Like even
yeah,
humans, we don't have a purpose. Who knows what purpose we have? We just are.
yeah. That's true.
Cosmicism. That's what it's a
Is that,
philosophy.
that's what it's called?
Yeah, cosmicism.
Okay.
Cosmic horror is based off cosmicism, which
Okay, I didn't know
was
that.
Lovecraft's philosophy. Yeah, it's a really dark way to look at things.
Okay, so some of his offsprings were Gathona, Gath,
That's
I
her.
can't
That's
pronounce it.
that's the
Yeah,
one who resurrects him if he dies.
yeah, and also Yitogta, Sas Omag, and Sipil. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not good with pronunciation, so
Yeah, it's all good. Nobody can pronounce that shit.
yeah, I
It's
know.
unpronounceable.
I'm pretty sure these are like really, really ancient words, you know?
Well, in the mythos universe, they're not really meant to be pronounced with human vocal cords.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So you can just
But-
pronounce it any way you want. And one of the
Okay.
cool things about the Cthulhu mythos is there's no solid canon. Like
Yeah.
he left the canon open. He even let tons of other writers, everyone knows that, tons of other writers write about stuff in the Cthulhu mythos universe. And
Yeah.
the only canon that matters is your own head canon, which is actually really, really genius.
Yeah. I've also even seen them in some comic books, like Marvel. I think came out with a couple episodes with him in it.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
And you can see
yeah,
the
DC.
influence of it everywhere.
Oh yes, you see them on T-shirts. You see them on billboards sometimes.
Well, it's like it's in World of Warcraft, it's in
Yes.
Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Fantasy. Like there's so many different franchises that are influenced by Lovecraft.
That's true. Very true.
Did you know that Cthulhu has straight up killed other great old ones before?
Yes, they had battles and wars actually.
Well, there was one that was coming to Earth to like consume Earth, and he was like, "No way, dude, this is mine to consume," and he ganked it. So anyone's gonna destroy Earth, it's gonna be me.
What was it? What was it? He had that great battle with what was the name of them?
Well, the Elder Things, but he also hates the King in Yellow, who is another great old one. Have you know the saying? Have you seen the yellow sign?
No, I have actually never heard of that.
Oh, you haven't? It's
No.
the King in Yellow's creepy. He actually
real?
wasn't even created. Yeah, he wasn't created by Lovecraft. He came later,
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
but he's one of Cthulhu's prime antagonists.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, totally.
So when did you get interested in the great old ones?
Probably when I was around 20, my friend Dave was into it, and he gave me the Mountains of Madness, like on an audiobook.
Oh,
I mean, I've seen Cthulhu and Lovecraft work before that, but I didn't know what it was. I couldn't put my finger on it. It was only after that that I really like started to notice it and how much it influenced basically all cosmic horror of all genres.
yes. Yeah, a lot of horror stories came after that. Like, what was it? Maybe even 20. No, I'm not sure about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Did
No.
that have some influence in it?
Well, one of the things that influenced Cthulhu was okay, Lovecraft hated water, and he would look into the ocean and he found nothing more terrifying than just like staring into the vast depths of the ocean and not being able to see what's under there.
You know what? I have the same problem, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate being anywhere near the ocean when it's dark.
Well, it's just freaky because you can't see what's in the water.
Yeah, well, like how they say, we only know like 10% of what's under there. And supposedly they tell us that we know more about the stars. But so that does make no sense to me. How can
we know more about space than we know about the depths of our own oceans.
Exactly. And isn't that crazy though?
Yeah.
When you think about it, all this technology we have, and we don't even know what's in our own planet sometimes.
Yeah, we got an ego. We think we know everything.
Yes, definitely. Well, there's been some internet, like on YouTube, that they show like underwater cities.
Yeah, totally.
They have sunk like probably like thousands and thousands of years ago. Who knows what's actually down there, or even if there's other kind of beings down there.
Oh man, there's tons of stuff like the Yonaguni Monument.
Oh yeah, you seen that one? The one in
yeah,
Japan?
dude. I've talked about it before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta start paying more attention to your show, bro. Yeah.
I think it was a Patreon episode.
Yeah, Angela told me about the how she got started. Also listening to your show too. So,
yeah, thanks.
She wanted to say hi after the show is done.
Yeah, so sure. That sounds cool.
All right, thanks.
I'd love to get like everybody from our group in here.
Oh, I hope so, bro. A lot of people have really good stories to tell, especially ghost stories. You know how creepy that our group could get sometimes.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, me too, bro. I'm really happy for you and how it's going there.
Hey man, it's about all you guys, not just me. Like if you guys are having fun, then I'm good.
Yeah, me too, bro. I really appreciate it.
For sure.
All right, so back to Cthulhu. So you said your friend was the one that introduced you to it?
Yeah, my friend Dave.
Dave?
I invited him to come on, but he's working.
All right.
Cthulhu has like insane powers. He's got superhuman strength, 9 vulnerability, flight, madness manipulation, immortality, telepathy, reality manipulation. I mean, this guy's the bee's knees, right?
Yeah, plus he's a giant.
Oh yeah, he's massive.
Yeah, he's massive. And plus he has minions.
The Star Spawn.
Yep.
Which is hilarious because I don't know what Lovecraft was thinking, but in Call of Cthulhu, he like comes up from the ocean and he gets taken out, like goes back down because he got rammed by a boat.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's like, dude, aren't you invincible?
And he kind of gets taken out by a boat.
There must have been something else. Like my imagination makes up for that. It's like, oh, he just didn't care. He just wanted to go back to sleep.
Probably.
The boat had nothing to do with it.
Or the boat had silver on it, not something like that.
No, he just didn't care. He was like, whatever, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it was first published when it was a pulp magazine, Weird Tales, right? 1928.
Yep. Paranormal, supernatural fiction was his thing.
Yeah. What was it?
Cthulhu, the King in Yellow, who I was just telling you about. Yeah, Hastur the Unspeakable is the King in Yellow. And
okay.
He's also known as the Unspeakable One, he who is not to be named. Yeah.
Oh, and he's also worshipped by non-human creatures known as the Deep Ones.
The Deep Ones worship Hastur?
No. Cthulhu.
Oh, yeah. Totally. They look like him, too, kind of.
Yeah. Well,
They're
at
fish
least
people.
facial, yeah. There's also a church of the subgenius. It's a parody religion.
Hmm.
Includes some aspects of the Cthulhu Mythos, such as the elder gods who are led by, like you said, Yog-Sothoth.
Yog-Sothoth knows all, sees all, and is all. He exists outside of the material universe,
Okay.
outside of space time.
What would he be like in
I'd say
chaos?
that the only person more powerful than him would be Nyarlathotep, just because
Oh,
he can traverse into all the dimensions and realms, even our own, whenever he wants. Yog-Sothoth
that,
can't do that. He's locked out.
do you think it's possible that a being like this could actually exist in, well, not just in our dimension, and let's say came from another dimension into our dimension, and
Yeah,
how?
man. I mean, who knows? Anything's possible.
Yes, definitely. I'm one of those people that believes that uh, different dimensions do definitely exist. I've seen some strange ass stuff in my days that
All I
sometimes
know
I'm
is
like,
I know nothing.
oh wow.
And there's a
um,
lot of like occultists and
uh,
people into like mystical shit that
uh,
actually they say that they can contact the old ones and do rituals and stuff to
yeah,
like interact with them, and they actually like get responses and stuff, which is super creepy.
that is creepy. Because imagine just hearing a voice out of nowhere telling you they're Cthulhu or one of the elder gods, and you have to do stuff for them in order for them to come back someday.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
totally.
yeah,
Well, I
that's
mean,
kind of
who knows? Like, they just like say that they've done the rituals and everything to contact the great old ones or the outer gods and stuff like that, and they say that they've had some success, and that has made well, not just that, but a lot of people have wondered if maybe Lovecraft was influenced in a different way by something more than human, because he got a lot of his influences from his dreams. So
oh okay, I
there's
see what you
people
mean. Yeah.
out there who think that he actually, because I mean, whenever he was asked about it, he would always be like, "No, it's all fiction. I wrote it all. It's all made up. Whatever. Just enjoy the stories." But I mean, if
Yeah.
you did have a connection to something like that, would you ever tell anyone? Everyone just think you're crazy.
Yes, definitely. A lot of people would just blame it on insanity,
Yeah, no one would
and
take him seriously anymore. So
oh
he
no,
would just,
definitely.
any smart person would just keep it to themselves. But there's people who think that maybe Lovecraft connected to something more, like something, there's
Yeah, like
something to the outer gods or the great old ones.
yes, definitely.
And they have a
I
lot of
think
archetypes. Sorry, go on.
no, I think you're right. I think he might have been um, hearing these entities, talking to him, or even coming to him in dreams,
Yeah,
and
he
that's
said
why
that
he
a
was
lot
able.
of it was influenced by dreams.
Yeah, and that's how he came. How they looked and how they acted and what their powers were and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially near Lahotep. He had like pretty profound dreams about that guy.
Oh, he did? I wasn't sure about that one.
Yeah, near Lahotep. Do you know who he is? The
No, sorry.
crawling chaos.
Oh, you know what?
He's an outer god.
Okay. I
He's
know. I
not
was
it.
looking at.
Go on.
Sorry. I was looking into like I told you, there's over 144 that I've seen, and each one has a specific like realms they control over, you could say, and
Hmm.
powers and minions, and yeah, and how they influence
Cultists.
humanity. Yes, how they influence humanity and wars between them, and just traveling dimension to dimension. Even sometimes, like you said, swallowing whole planets,
Oh
destroying
yeah,
planets.
totally. Anything's game in the cosmos, in the mythos
Yeah,
universe. We're just
that's crazy.
yeah, we're insignificant human beings
Yeah,
in that universe.
yeah, it's like ants to what would it be?
Basically just insects, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. We're just insects. We're just a blink in the existence of like beings that are immortal and beyond our comprehension.
Well, that's basically how sometimes it is even in religion. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of people tell us certain things about their religion, and we sometimes we tend not to believe it, even though we don't really know what's the truth.
Maybe there is no truth. That would go
Well,
with the Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah, true.
Or if there is a
Or
truth, we'll never know it because our brains aren't capable of comprehending it.
yeah, until I say the way I think about it is the way we'll actually know is when
Mhm.
we're complete, and when I mean complete is when we meet our creator. As far as for me,
That's interesting. Yeah.
and I'm not talking about like a Christian thing or a Muslim thing or any of those other religions. Personally, to me, God is everything. He's the creator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, anything that's sentient has a right to exist, basically.
I don't know if Cthulhu would agree with you.
Ah,
I
probably
think
not.
that things
I
only
think that
exist to please him. You know, like one of the
yeah,
main ways that he talks to people and influences people to become cultists and do his will is through dreams.
yeah. I actually was reading up on that, and that's how it got most people to. How can I say it? The
To
more
follow him.
people, yeah, the more people he gets to follow him, the stronger he gets. I think that's you know what that kind of came out in. Have you ever seen what's that one movie called? It has to do with gods also. Mm,
Which one?
what's that?
There's just so much to do with dreams with Lovecraft. It's pretty fascinating. Like there's even a realm called the Dreamlands, and every world like has its own dreamlands basically. And it's like an alternate dimension. Nyarlathotep rules over ours, or at least he protects it.
Yeah, Neo Hotep.
Nyarlathotep. There's different ways to pronounce it. That's just the way I like to pronounce it.
Okay.
The crawling
And
chaos. He's the one who plays humanity like a chess game.
all right. And that's the crawling chaos.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has 1,000 forms in one, or something like that. But he's probably
Wow.
one of the most fascinating of all because he, unlike a lot of the other entities in the Mythos universe, has a personality.
Okay.
They're just
So
not some cosmic. Well, he is a cosmic horror, but he can be somewhat understood.
he's more of a more personal, you could say.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and you can reason with him, and maybe if you're lucky, he won't make you go mad and die a horrible death.
well, who knows? Maybe we're all mad, and this is just a dream we're just having.
Yeah, I'm sure that Lovecraft might somewhat agree with you, or at least be entertained by that notion. But one of the coolest great old ones I think is the one I was talking about earlier, Hastur, who I just mostly just go by the King in Yellow. Here's a quote from The Whisperer in the Darkness. I found myself faced by names and terms that I had heard elsewhere in the most hideous of connections: Yagath, Great Cthulhu, Tsathagwa, Yog-Sothoth, Relay, Nyarlathotep, Azathoth, Hastur, Yan, Leng, the Lake of Hali, Beth Mora, the Yellow Sign, Lemur Cthulhus, Bran, and the Magnum Inumdandum, and was drawn back through the nameless eons and inconceivable dimensions to worlds of outer entity, at which the crazed author of the Necronomicon had only guessed in the vaguest way. There is a whole secret cult of evil men. A man of your mystical erudition will understand me when I link them with Hastur and the Yellow Sign, devoted to the purpose of tracking them down and injuring them on behalf of the monstrous powers from other dimensions. So Hastur is kind of a dick.
Ah,
His favorite form is to be just a man with a yellow robe and a yellow mask.
you know what? That sounds familiar. I've seen that somewhere. Like I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was
You
what that?
probably have, like, because one of the things with Hastur is people will just say randomly, all cryptic, they'll be like, have you seen the yellow sign? Because that's what he uses to influence cultists.
Oh, okay.
Like, if
So
you
it's like
see the yellow sign, then you're automatically, like, influenced by Hastur. He has
okay, good.
yeah, he has, like, all his grips in your psyche.
I seen the yellow sign. Actually, I have it right here in front of me. Have you seen the yellow sign? So I know what sign you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, he's the spawn of Yog-Sothoth and the half brother of Cthulhu, and he has a bunch of other avatars, like a lot of the great old ones. But I mean, Cthulhu just really hates him. They hate each other.
So they're the main rivals, you could say.
One of them, because I mean, I don't think Cthulhu really likes anyone other than maybe Azathoth, but he's still a priest of the outer gods. So I mean, I'm sure he has reverence for them, but Cthulhu is more a force of nature than, a person with a personality.
He just basically is running around doing whatever he wants, and basically nothing's gonna stop him from doing it.
Yeah, and it's not really evil or good because those are human notions. I mean, a shark isn't evil. A shark just feeds.
Yeah, a shark's just a shark,
You can't put morals on something that is beyond human morality.
Yes, exactly.
Which is another reason why they're so horrifying, the outer gods and the great old ones, because of their indifference.
Well, yeah, they just see us as petty things, to toy with. Well,
yeah, if even that.
Hey listeners, thanks for listening to Cryptic Chronicles. Are you interested in starting your own podcast? Please support the show by using our sponsor, Blueberry. Blueberry is optimized for iTunes, as well as pretty much all podcast hubs. Don't worry about contracts or expensive fees. You have your own RSS feed and no third-party sites. You won't ever have to leave your own website. Blueberry hosting really is the key to podcast success. Try it for a month free and a month of free podcast statistics by going to crypticchroniclespodcast.com. At the bottom of the homepage, you'll see the Blueberry links. By going through us, you'll really be helping us out. Also, make sure to support the show by joining the Chronicler's Vault. By supporting us on Patreon, you'll have access to exclusive bonus episodes. The more financial support we get, the more content we can produce. Anything will help, so if you can't afford the Chronicler's Vault, simply donate whatever you can, and we would greatly appreciate it. Go to crypticchroniclespodcast.com and click the donation button on the bottom of the homepage. To keep up to date with all Cryptic Chronicles content, follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, or our Facebook page. Throwing the Facebook page a like would also be very awesome. Thank you for supporting Cryptic Chronicles. Most of all, thanks for listening.
About Dagon. Yeah, Dagon's a classic.
Where have I heard that name before too? Isn't in the Japanese? Oh no. Actually, didn't they see something like that? And they call it a Dagon in Antarctica or something like that?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe, no, I don't know. No, I haven't.
Yeah, there's a video out there on YouTube somewhere, and I think they call it a Dagon.
Well, Dagon, he's like a big fish person. He's a giant. Exactly.
Yeah, they show like he looks like kind of whitish. Well, at least the pictures they've shown on YouTube. He looks like a giant. He has like fins, but he has a face of a head of a kind of like a person.
Yeah, he looks humanoid.
Yeah, exactly. And there's things out there that they've been showing actually on YouTube. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that Dagon actually might be a being that actually exists upon this earth.
Yeah, it's interesting. Who knows? There could be anything down there.
He's Dagon is deity who presides over the deep ones.
And yeah, the deep ones are like fish people.
Yeah, humanoid race, indigenous to the earth's oceans. So maybe it is like you said. Maybe Lovecraft was actually seeing these beings that actually live upon the earth. And then what YouTube has, that might be a link right there.
Yeah, I want to hear something creepy about the deep ones.
Yes.
The only way that deep ones reproduce is they mate with human women. And then the offspring slowly, like when it becomes an adult at some point, slowly starts to like mutate into a deep one. Wow. And it's like a lot of time they're not even aware. They're like, what is going on? And they mutate into a fish person slowly and then go out into the ocean.
That's crazy.
At a
Yeah,
very
that's
advanced age, some deep ones reach pretty enormous sizes, such
Like
as individuals engender the cult of Dagon who worship these creatures as deities. They are, in fact, entirely corporeal beings whose great age contributes to their massive size. There is even fossil evidence that the largest of these beings reach sizes of over 50 feet in height.
Whoa.
That sounds just like Dagon. Dagon's like that big, though, so who knows? But Dagon is like 50 feet tall.
Yeah. They also go when the hybrids become too obviously non-human, they go into seclusion in ostensibly abandoned buildings until fully capable of living solely underwater.
Yeah, the deep ones are creepy.
Yeah.
He's also worshipped by a devout cult of humans.
You think that's where they get like mermaids and stuff like that? How do you say folklore?
Folklore?
Yes.
Maybe.
Right.
Oh, well, he seems like he's immortal, and that's basically because he hangs out with the Star Spawn, who actually serve Cthulhu. And, well, Cthulhu's way more powerful than Dagon. Dagon's still a great old one, though.
Oh, yes. How about the Nun and Yeb?
Nun and Yeb. Oh, Yeb?
Nug and Yeb are sons of Shub-Niggurath.
Shub-Niggurath, yeah.
Yeah, out of the eons. They are twins born from her mating with her husband. They were spawned on the doomed nebula of, I can't pronounce it, Slikaroy?
Yeah, that works.
Slikaroy.
Mm-hmm.
According to another account by Avon, the Adrenus.
Just whatever pronunciation you say is perfect.
Okay. The Adrenus Sakutu split into two, becoming male Nug and female Yeb.
Wait, so yeah, Nug and Yeb were one entity that split off into two?
Yes. So Nug is the parent of Cthulhu.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And Yeb is the parent of Satwa?
Yeb's spawn.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all just one big happy family of evil space monsters.
Also, they call Nug father of ghouls.
Father of ghouls?
Correct.
Sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah. And Nug might also be the father of Natsur. So the names Nug and Yeb are also similar to the names of Egyptian siblings, gods.
Oh, really?
And Geb. Yes.
Oh,
Nug
yeah,
and Geb,
huh?
Members of a high...
Yeah, wasn't she like the entire cosmos, like the sky?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, these guys are actually been around maybe even in ancient times, aren't?
Well, I think that Lovecraft was inspired by a lot of ancient cultures and their gods.
Probably
or they inspired him.
What is it? A lot of Egyptian. Also, what's that other one? Where the cradle of man.
Oh, the Mesopotamia.
Yes, exactly.
The Sumerians.
Yes, because they had gods like these guys as well.
Yeah, the Canaanites too had like a lot of gods that basically all of the gods in the Near East are all based off of Sumerian and Canaanite gods. And
the Sumerians had some crazy ass gods back in the day.
Yeah, a lot of people think they're aliens.
A lot of
the Anunnaki.
Yes, a lot of their gods, the symbols on their temples, it looks like they're on discs, you know.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, flying around on winged discs, you know. So
yeah, yeah, exactly. Who knows? It's definitely fascinating though.
Very fascinating.
And then there's the expanded mythos on top of that. Because, I mean, the stories didn't end when Lovecraft died. Other people just picked up where he left off.
Added to it, huh?
Yeah, tons of people.
How about the Green God?
He's a sentient, plant-like entity dwelling within a series of subterranean caverns, where it is always served by mutant rabbit-like worshippers.
Yes, that's crazy, huh? Rabbit-like worshippers.
Dude, I wish I had rabbit worshippers that served me.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It sounds almost like Follow the Rabbit into the Hole from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yeah, huh? That's pretty weird. Yeah.
That is pretty weird.
Well, yeah, the mythos is totally intergalactic and interdimensional.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I find more interesting about anything. That it's dimensional as well. our own cosmos, but from other realms, you could say.
Yeah, even dreams.
Yes, exactly. So who knows? These guys could be coming or becoming reality because of our own dreams, you know?
Well, there's definitely people who think that the Cthulhu Mythos entities are, in a way, real
Yeah.
from a certain point of view. Some of these are only like summed up. There's not much about them. There's just like a paragraph on a lot of these great old ones, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like Yimnar, the Dark Stalker, or seducely of earthly intelligence, is a shape-shifting entity spawned by the outer god Nigar Korath to serve him only. It may grant great powers to whoever chooses to serve it and its master. Its final aim is the destruction of all sentient and intelligent life in the cosmos.
Oh, shoot. Damn. That guy's real.
Yimnar's not messing around, dude.
Yeah.
And then we have Atlak Naka from the Seven Geeses. The dark form ran toward him with incredible swiftness. When it came near, he saw that there was a kind of face on the squat ebon body, low down amid the several jointed legs. The face peered up with a weird expression of doubt and inquiry, and terror crawled through the veins of the bold huntsman as he met the small, crafty eyes that were circled about with hair. So Atlak Nacha is just like a spider entity, also known as the Spinner in the Darkness.
Oh, wow. So he's like like an arachnid, you could say?
Yeah, I think it's a she, but
Okay.
she's the spider god.
All right. So there you go.
Yeah, she resembles a spider too, like a really freaky looking spider, but with a human face, which is charming.
Yes.
And
Especially if you would see her in the distance and you see the fish and you're like, oh, look, I'll go talk to that girl. And all of a sudden, wham, spiderweb, bro.
yeah, it's a bad day. Apparently, she came from Saturn with Tsuwagwa and dwells in a cave beneath the moon of Ludamalath.
The moon of... Say that again?
Vmuradalath.
Oh,
I can't pronounce this.
yeah.
I can pretend like I know, though.
I know.
And from the now extinct Arctic kingdom of Hyperborea. There it spins its great webs, forming a great bridge between the dreamlands and the waking world. It is believed that when the web is complete, the end of the world will come. What were you going to say? Yeah, but dude, every entity has like end of the world prophecy stuff about him in the Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh, yeah. Even in our own, world, there's a lot of myths about another world this, another world that. So yeah, it's not a new thing, huh?
Yeah, so I always got a kick out of the idea that, if there's a multiverse, maybe like there's actually an apocalypse for each one of those and each separate one. So like in a way they're all true, but they're all wrong at the same time.
Oh, yeah, and that could definitely be true because you never know.
Just it takes imagination to think about that.
Yeah.
One legend of Aklat Nacha claims that she was imprisoned beneath a mountain in Siberia. And she basically kills her victims by puncturing them with thousands of spine and sucking out their juices, just like a spider.
Just like a spider. Whoa.
Yeah, she's subservient to Abat. Abat is the lord of contagion, I guess uncleanliness. I talked about him in the episode 18 when I just cover basically all the outer gods. Abat is gross. And
like pestilence.
Yeah. The god of decay. Well, the outer god, I guess. There's also Bastan, who is known as the Master of Crabs. He's a great old one who basically is in charge of crabs, I guess. And he's described as a gigantic humanoid crab-human hybrid thing or whatever, and is actually connected to the constellation of Cancer. It's funny how Lovecraft even involves like astrology and like it seems like he has a lot of occult influences in the background. It makes me wonder if maybe Lovecraft was a part of some secret occult society, much like Freemasons or whatever.
Yeah, I think back in his day there was a lot of spiritualism going around, so I'm pretty sure.
Totally.
A lot of influences, if any.
Oh yeah, completely. There's all kinds of weird stuff in his work that's like raises some eyebrows.
Like you said, a lot of Egyptian gods are there.
I mean, there's there's so many just like weird ones too, like Bakrug. He's known as the Great Water Lizard. He first appeared in the Doom that came to Sarnath. Bakrug, the Great Water Lizard. Yep, he's a lake-dwelling god of semi-amphibian form or whatever, and he sleeps beneath the calm waters of a lake that bordered Ib in the city of Sarnath. When the humans of Sarnath cruelly slaughtered the populace of Ib and stole the god's idol, the great deity got pretty pissed off.
Oh.
Each year thereafter, strange ripples reportedly disturbed the otherwise placid lake. On the 1000th anniversary of Ib's destruction, Bakrab rose up and utterly destroyed the city of Sarnath, so completely that not even the ruins remained. Afterwards, the Thamha race recolonized, and Ib, forever thereafter, became basically abandoned.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was an apocalypse for a culture, civilization.
Definitely.
Thanks, River Monster. Huh?
Did we talk about the worm that gnaws in the night?
No, who's that?
That's the name of him.
The worm that gnaws in the night?
Yes. It's a powerful, massive worm-like fiend. It was observed by the wizard Avon, who noticed that it was slowly eating at the planet Shagai. The worm has immense durability and might be one of the most powerful great old ones.
Oh, really?
Yes, the elder god couldn't even handle it, and the worm has survived the radiation from the outer god, Roth, who destroys all life on Shagai. The worm is one of the only great ones on Shagai, the other being Bauth Tuka Mog. It is also said to be terrifying for words.
Well, that definitely sounds like an eldritch horror. I mean, a lot of the entities, if any human just like merely looks at them, they cause like instant insanity. I mean, there's people in the mythos who they just like read a name of one of the entities and just went crazy.
Or even
like,
just heard of
yeah,
or even a sound of them and just went completely mad.
Yeah, like the Necronomicon, that comes from the Lovecraft mythos. And, you know, there's movies on it, The Evil Dead. But basically can cause the same kind of havoc as you see in the movies.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Except without the slapstick humor in the third one.
Oh, which one was the third one? It's
Army of Darkness.
Yes, there you go.
And it's like so silly.
I love that movie though.
I love it too, but it's just like so different than. I mean, I love them all for different reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the Necronomicon comes from the mythos.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was based on like somebody actually trying to create a book of dark arts.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that he was influenced by the Egyptian Book of the Dead, but no way to prove that. It seems similar though.
Yeah.
Although the Egyptian Book of the Dead is actually not really dark, I guess. It's just it's more spiritual than anything. And it's got a lot of positive stuff in it, but it still is about the underworld and stuff, so I guess it's pretty dark to some people.
Yeah. Like we were talking about people don't understand find it either dark or just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. They don't like their little boxes being shaken.
Yes, definitely.
Don't rock the boat.
Exactly. I have no idea why people just don't want to you can say expand their minds, Well,
I think that, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like arrogant, like I know anything really, but I think that there's people who are meant for that kind of thing, and there's people who just aren't, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It takes both sides to, in basically anything. If one thing exists, you got to have its opposite.
That's true.
And that's like goes with infinite shades of gray, like all throughout everything.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Like the way I see the world is, how a lot of people tell you, oh, well, I'm not sure if they have told you, like, pick a side. What do you want to be, good or evil? Good or evil? Well, why can't you just be both? Why can't you just live and just live your life how it's coming?
Well, the funny thing is that most people are a mixture of those things, leaning one way or the other at various times in their life, depending on what's going on in their life, what their moods are. Like, there's a lot of good people that quote unquote good people who did some pretty gnarly evil stuff when they were pissed off or sad or whatever.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but people just don't like to think about it.
Yeah, a lot of people even do crazy things out of love, you know?
Yeah,
And
like
love's supposed to
totally
be one of the most purest things.
causes madness, just like
Yeah,
Gabagag.
It actually does cause madness.
Gabagag is also known as the twice invoked, and he first appeared at the Mountains of Madness.
Oh wow! You know what? I need to get those books, bro.
I would listen to the audiobooks.
The audiobooks.
Yeah, I mean, because you can just like do that while driving or doing chores or whatever.
Yes. Plus, it's easier on me on the pronunciation of these words.
Yeah, I don't think I've really read any Lovecraft, like literally read it, other than just like Google researching or whatever, just for fun.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I've listened to the audiobooks, which is pretty entertaining. Yeah,
Well,
but
how
go on.
Go ahead. How about this one? His name is Crom Crouch. The bloody crooked one is likely a giant worm on a dragon-like creature. God mentioned in Dr. D's Necronomicon as a lesser concubine of or Shub-Niggurath.
Shub-Niggurath. Yeah. Go on.
Shub-Niggurath. Crom Crouch is said to lie under a Stonehenge. His cult believed him to be all-knowing. In the Hyperborean age, the grim god Crom, who is probably
Crom. Yeah, I know who Crom is.
Crom.
Yeah, from Conan the Barbarian.
There you go, exactly. Well, how did he say? Oh yeah, God Crom. Okay, so in the age of Crom.
Hilariously, Conan the Barbarian and the Cthulhu Mythos exist in the same universe.
You know what? I think they mentioned. Yeah, I think there was a mention of that, or even a hieroglyph of Cthulhu, at least his face, in one of the scenes. Isn't there?
Yeah, the two authors who wrote it were, Lovecraft. I forget the guy's name for Conan the Barbarian, but they were buddies.
Oh.
So
wow.
yeah, they dipped in each other's universes.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so public face of Crom Crouch was worshipped in Cimmeria. So there you go. Later, he was worshipped by the Celt in Ireland. It's said that its worship was ended by the St. Patrick, who destroyed the cult sign with a hammer. It posed a pre-Christian deity to obtain the souls of children and deceive his followers. There you go.
Thanks, St. Patrick.
Yeah, thank you. Well, isn't that kind of like, you know how St. Patrick also got rid of all the snakes? In,
He did?
Ireland? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah, he's supposed to be one of. So what? So that might link those two together. That what is dragon-looking thing?
Dagon?
No, Crown Crouch.
Oh yeah.
There's a giant worm or dragon, and you know how Saint Patrick was actually the one that got rid of the snakes. So that kind of links those two together.
That's cool.
As a snake, the snake representing a dragon, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then we got Gloon, who is also known as the corrupter of flesh, master of the temple. Gloon is basically described as a slug-like abomination, though it usually hides its true nature through the glamour of a beautiful Dionysian statue. There is a homoerotic element to mankind's fascination with Gloon's false appearance. Gloon appears, though is unnamed, in the author Molly Tanzer's novelette, The Infernal History of the Ivybridge Twins. In this tale, he is served by dolphins, which is pretty cool. His picture... Yeah, he's got dolphin servants. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, exactly, right? Especially hearing their songs.
What? Oh, yeah, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that would drive me insane, actually.
Dolphins are awesome.
Oh, no, they are, but, imagine just hearing that constantly. Yeah.
That's true, that would suck. Constantly hearing dolphins?
Yes.
That'd get old real quick.
Yeah. I need some speech, people. Some human to human conversation.
So another great old one is Sebek, who is, he's the crocodile god.
Okay.
I mean, he's depicted as a humanoid crocodile with several lower jaws, more than one. He's got extra. Although he's like pretty much weaker than most of the other great old ones, he has been known to be a warrior deity and is still revered as a powerful god amongst many cultists.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Here's
and then
another
there's... Huh?
Here's another one. His name is Igolonak, the Defiler.
Ooh.
He is, I know. He's a great old one. He is god of the perversion and depravity. Not just average human perversion or depravities, but any that can be conceived by a sapient being. Otherwise,
Cool.
his demeanor is much like that of a Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep? Nyarlathotep?
Yes, there you go. Nyarlathotep. He is much more perverted and sadistic. Yagolnak can sometimes be summoned merely by reading his name. Oh, well, I'm screwed.
Perfect.
Igolnak is imprisoned behind a wall of bricks in unknown ruins. His true form is uncertain, but when he possesses a human host to manifest, he appears as a grotesque obese, with a mouth in the palm of each hand.
Oh,
Like that creature in Pan.
yeah,
Remember
that's what
that?
I was thinking. That's
Yes.
creepy. That reminds me of Slender Man, too.
Kind of, right? With the
Yeah.
mouth in the palm of each hand. Unlike
Yeah.
other deities, Igolonak is clearly capable of understanding humans, to the point of being able to conduct conversations in English through his human host. Igolnak seeks humans who read perverse and forbidden literature.
This guy
Man.
sounds crazy.
This guy created porn, bro.
What's his
And
name?
now-
Testuaga? Gua?
No. Okay. How you say it is Ygolonac. Kind of Igoloknak.
Got it.
Oh, you got it?
Galak.
Something like that. Igolak. Yeah. Igolonak. Yeah, these guys have some weird, crazy names.
Yeah, the weirder the better.
He offers to grant summoners the dubious honor of becoming his priest. Simply kills him for food. Whoa.
That sucks.
After he makes you a priest, he kills you and he eats you.
Hey, congratulations for the promotion there, buddy. Nom, 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 nom. What about Stagua? Stagua. Yeah, Stagua. Also known as the Sleeper of Nikai. Yep. Stagua is a creation of Clark Ashton Smith and is part of his Hyperborean cycle. The entity is described as an old one and is godlike from basically the Cthulhu pantheon. His first appearance in print, however, was actually a Lovecraft story, The Whisper in the Darkness, which was written in 1930 and is one of the best stories ever.
Oh, for real? I gotta get that book, bro.
Well, yeah.
Or at least hear it,
You like YouTube. There's probably an audiobook on YouTube. You don't even got to buy anything. And then there's also Zathqua, who's the Sleeper of Nikai. Yep. He is a very squat and pot-bellied. His head is more like a monstrous toad than anything resembling human. And his whole body is covered in imitation of short fur, giving somehow a vague sensation of both bat and the sloth.
Oh, okay.
He's always got like sleepy eyes. They're always like half open.
Uh-huh.
And he's got a really big fat mouth. He's pretty weird. He's often found just asleep because he's so ridiculously lazy. He's incredibly lazy to the point that he refuses to even leave his chambers unless he's mortally threatened.
Oh, wow.
And if disturbed, he will just eat whoever awakens him and basically is a fat ass.
Oh.
However, there are exceptions. But this guy's basically just down to let the apocalypse come to him. He just does not give any fucks.
Yeah. It sounds like today's youth, actually.
Yeah, he's a giant freaking toad guy. And he's got servitors of formless spawn. What were you going to say?
No, I was just listening to what you were saying.
Yeah, he's his servitors are just like polymorphic entities made of black goo. They're extremely resilient and hard to kill. Formless spawn can take any shape and can attack their targets in nearly any conceivable way. They're surprisingly flexible and like plasticky, so they're kind of like the Terminator from Terminator 2, how it can just like turn its finger into a knife and go through you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it morphs basically.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So they protect his like lazy man cave and they don't let it be defiled by any people coming in, basically. So if some explorer happens to come across his cave and discover it, he ain't coming out. No one's gonna see him again.
Whoa. So this entity is able to morph into different beings?
No. His servitors are. He's just a big fat frog guy. And like his cultists like to take girls and just like throw them into his big gaping mouth.
Oh man,
he's like the god of lazy gluttony. Yeah, I mean, if like Cthulhu was destroying the world, I bet he would just chill there the entire time until Cthulhu came to him.
He would just watch, basically.
No, I don't think he even cares, and he's so lazy he just doesn't even care. And then like when Cthulhu comes and shows up at his doorstep, he's just send his servitors at him. He'll probably die though. Cthulhu will mess him up.
Yeah.
And he probably knows his own fate too, which is even more twisted.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna be a fat, thing, you're gonna die eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to Gabriel and I ramble on about crazy stuff. The Great Old Ones are vast and many, and we barely scratched the surface on them. Don't worry though, I'll be coming back to the Great Old Ones and the Cthulhu Mythos many more times in episodes to come.